Viewers, this is Wadidja. As in, what did you say? What did you do? What did you think? And today I think I'm going to be bringing you a titanium tip for leveling your gear. Um, the thing that I have figured out, as well, I'm sure everybody else has noticed, that it's very difficult to kind of stay ahead of the curve as far as leveling your gear. Um, as you increase your level of your character and as you progress through your world tier system, um, it becomes, your gear level goes up, or your the level of gear goes up as you level up and as you advance to your world tier. uh, the enemies automatically will scale based on your character level. They don't care about your gear. The enemies will scale based on your world tier. They don't care about your gear. So you can very quickly start getting your ass served to you, and they're overwhelming you and taking you out in a way which slows down your progression. You die, you lose world tier. If you're not running at a lower world tier system. If you're running at a lower world tier system, you don't get the loss of your world tier penalty. But either way, most of us are trying to stay up on a higher level world tier, and without losing progression on that. And so for me, what I like to do is keep a strong amount of titanium, in my gear thing. Now, if you don't have epic level gear, you're going to be requiring leather to raise up the regular gear pieces, the clothing items, right? And you'll have to use iron to level up your weapons. But once you change over and upgrade to your epic level for your gear, you're going to be using titanium to actually increase the level of any of your gear. Now, personally, I prefer to go with the epic level because, for several reasons, you get to have, uh, better stats. You also, too, get to have multiple mods in your gear as well, which is going to help you on, um, deal with enemies more effectively, have more options at your disposal as far as tactics and strategies go. So to me, if you can afford to bring it up to an epic level, it's a better situation. Now, this farm that I'm going to show you here, as far as a speedy way of getting titanium, and is primarily for farming titanium, as well as getting a lot of leather, and you will get some iron along the way. Um, you can also too build up, uh, you know, gear and weapons in your inventory to sell if you want for the scrap. You'll also too can break it down and get shards for increasing the attributes of your gear. Now, in my opinion, as far as increasing attributes, you want to kind of wait for that, in my opinion, because as you increase the level of your gear, because your attributes are re-rolled, they and increase, they reduce the shard level that you currently may have in your attributes. So to me, you might want to wait. They can be kind of costly to max out on everything. So, you know, it's up to you. But to me, I think it's best to go ahead and get this titanium up. And again, the key here is farming this molten arachne, Akari, excuse me, at this Akari nest. And the key to this here, let me show you. I'm just going to return to lobby real quick. Um, and next generation and everything is a little bit faster on this situation, and as well as PC. But either way, it's fairly quick. You want to wait till you get to this Eagle Peaks point of the story. As soon as you defeat this Arachne Akari, you want to reload this part of the game here. It's going to bring you right in front of where you need to be for this particular farm. To me, I like lowering the world tier to 1 because the goal is titanium. Um, for leveling up epic gear. Let me stress that. Or I believe titanium is used, I think, for leveling up legendaries too. I haven't really messed with the legendary situation very much, but bringing it to world tier 1, you could put it at whatever world tier you want, to be honest with you. But the key is to have a minimal amount of XP gained, number one, so that you are saving resources faster than you're leveling to have to use them. So that when you play the rest of the game, and you progress past this particular farm, you'll have the resources in your inventory to raise your gear as you need to, as you progress through your world tier system, as you level your character. Also, too, keep in mind you are making XP, as you can see with each one of my kills, and as you can see with my level progression of my character. I mean, I'm at level 26. I believe the max level you can be is 30. So, within a short amount of time, I'm going to be there. And keep in mind too, as you level up your gear, it gets more and more expensive along the way. You know what I'm saying? So, you want to really keep up, uh, your resources. So again, by making a minimum amount of XP and increasing the rate at which you get titanium in, and see, keep in mind, you don't always get titanium when you farm anywhere. Like another good place to farm titanium early in the game is the Vanguard Captain. But once I kill this Akari, I just return to lobby. I don't bother turning in the mission at the base camp because all you're going to get is gear and weapons from the completion of the mission. And again, the main focus for this here is titanium. You're going to get some weapons. You're going to get some gear from the drops from the Akari when you kill it. But the thing is that when you're farming the Akari or even farming the Vanguard Captain earlier for titanium, you're not going to get 1 second here. You're not going to get titanium every single time you do it. You're going to run across situations where you get, it's because it's RNG. You run across situations where you just get no titanium. If you're doing a Vanguard Captain, you get 1, maybe 2, up to 4 sometimes. This Akari, you can get a tremendous amount of titanium each and every time you kill it. And so again, speed and frequency is key in maximizing these RNG situations. So, and then with this Akari, there's 3 different stages to it, which makes this situation take longer. So that's the other reason too why I bring it down to world tier 1. Because A, I'm making less XP, and B, I'm able to get through this farm a whole lot faster, more efficiently. Thereby increasing the amount of titanium I make at a faster rate than I'm leveling, so that I can actually save up titanium. So when I go ahead and progress through the rest of the game, at max world tier, and I get to take advantage of the XP that becomes available as I progress through the game to finish out leveling my character and to finish out leveling up my world tier system. But I'll have the resources to be able to do that. And then don't forget to as far as speeding up everything, don't forget to make sure that you do your automatic auto loot grab thing here. Just it's press D on the D-pad. I forgot what command it is for PC, but you want to auto loot on your game consoles so that you can speed that situation up. And to me, it's like you can check on your check in here, make sure everything's registered and it's coming through. But again, this is the rinse and repeat method to just keep the titanium flowing faster than you're leveling up. like I think when I last leveled up, or when I before I started this grind. See, at the moment I'm at World Tier 10. But yeah, when I started this grind, and when I kind of pieced things together, I like had maybe 5 pieces of titanium. Before I actually leveled up, I I changed over an option of my clothing at just because I'm a kind of a fashionista. Each one of Matter of fact, I'll show you each one of my characters all wear the same thing. Like this is the next outfit that I'm transitioning to for all my characters to what I have on now. And I've already got my trickster set up for that. But this was the outfit that I had on prior um, to the one you see now. Like I had a different jacket on, um, and so for my storyline, immersion, and role playing aspects of things, I'm pretending that each one of my characters is in some kind of separate timeline and they're kind of clones of each other, trying to figure out, the main group of folks who are experimenting on him to see who would be most efficient in getting through this circumstance they're in and winning this war. Anyway, and defeat the anomaly on Enoch. Uh, but the bottom line is, um, I like to customize the look of my characters. Hold on, did I go to the right story point? I like to customize the look of my characters with a certain kind of look to the gear. I'm using the Hell's Rangers, some of the content from that for the mask, the pants, and the boots. So the only thing I'm really collecting options for is the jacket and the gloves. Um, and when you're, to me, another tip too for collecting gear, if you want to have optional looks, is to, unless you're trying to have build options, to maintain the particular attribute that you might have for the different optional gear pieces. So, like, I like this jacket, so it has anomaly power as the main attribute. I like this other shirt here, so it has, anomaly power as the main attribute. That way, I'm not saving, you know, I'm respecting my inventory space by not saving multiple versions of things of the same thing in some way, shape, or form, unless, of course, I want to have an option to my build. Um, and like, and you can also to collect these things and transfer them to your other characters, whether they have the same, a class different mod in it or not. It doesn't matter. You can actually transfer it to the other character. You can use resources from other characters and level it up. Um, None of my characters need this shirt with that attribute, so that's the reason why I'm deleting it. Um, but yeah, so you can transfer things to other characters and get uh, the benefit of the resources from those other characters if you're in deficit to increase the level of a particular gear. Um, you know, of course, you can't put different mods in from a different class, but you can actually raise the level on a different character of the gear. You can increase the rarity of the gear on a different character class. You can also uh, mod level. You can do most of your crafting. You can do all your crafting essentially, except for change over the mod if unless but if it's a universal mod you can do that. If it's a universal mod you're putting in the gear, you can actually do that. But if it's a class specific level of a gear piece, you can't change over that in from a different class. um, but some people may decide to have multiple versions of the same class for build options, um, and inventory space, and etc., which I do too. I've got an extra trickster and an extra devastator for potential build options. But as you can see here, you're always going to get guaranteed leather, but you don't always get guaranteed titanium. I wanted to show you an example of that. So like I said, the rinse and repeat method is where you know that as this aspect comes in handy to make sure you have it at super low world tier. Like I said, level one, um, you burn through it, you make minimum XP. You're still progressing the level of your character, bear in mind. So you will eventually, depending on how much you're saving in titanium, actually have to um, spend some titanium along the way if you want to level up your gear as you progress. Because the thing is unless somebody's come out with a chart as far as explaining like how much titanium you're going to need, you got to realize that that titanium aspect increases as you level up. You know, and realize that when you take a piece of gear that you have a preference for and bring it into an epic level, it's going to cost you 50 titanium to do so for each and every piece of gear that you bring into the epic level. Then from there, you know, for a long time, and this really depends on your gear level as far as how much titanium you're going to have to spend. Um, but the thing is that that titanium cost is going to go up depending on the cost, the level of your gear, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, this is you know how, like I said, minimum amount of XP as you see, trying to get the most aspect of uh, titanium along the way. So, like I said, skip the cutscenes, grab the loot, and see, like I said, there's another example where you don't get titanium. So that was two in a row. I'll be honest with you, and we're going to check to make sure I'm not a liar on this. Uh, not lying by any of it, but mistaken rather. Um, I haven't seen more than two runs at a time where I don't get titanium from this Akari. Um, and again, it's all about uh, speed, keeping the XP low so that you can gain savings. Because I couldn't save enough fast enough going through the game any kind of normal way. I was constantly in a deficit in regard to the enemy level, um, in respect to your character level and your world tier. So it was very uncomfortable. And then on top of that, I wasn't able to really enjoy the epic level of things with my gameplay. And to me, it's really cool to have the epic gear set up with a look that you want to enjoy versus being subject to all the various different whatever you're given. And I mean, you know, if you're comfortable with whatever you're given, you're not in it for that, then you'll be fine. But still, you may want to use this to get your titanium up for leveling up your epics and your legendaries. Um, you know, because like I said, now spoiler alert, there will be a vendor a little bit later on past this point where you know, you will get a vendor that travels with you and you can actually sell scrap to her or sell weapons to her to get scrap to get you know, in exchange for titanium. But again, you know, that's going to require a grind in itself. So yeah, so there we go. We got 13 plus 26. That's 9. That's 39 um, titanium. Now, like I said, when you get to a point where you've already achieved the level you want, you can go ahead and leave out of here and you know, turn in the mission. And this is for the fact. This is also too if you want to. Say you might want to decide to farm this for gear as well, and you have the potential of getting epic drops too. So, you know, you could take this down to a world tier that's manageable, as well as improve the rarity of your drops for legendaries and epics. I did get my first in-game legendary from this boss here, uh, you know, and shoot, I'll have a video highlight of that too. Um, but yeah, so you can go back to the base. You can also to turn in this you know, side mission here for the reward. if you want to get more scrap, more iron from whatever gear or weapons that you get as a reward. If you're playing it at a higher world tier, you'll have a greater chance of getting epics. Um, who knows? You may even potentially get a legendary. I don't know if she will award something like that. It's very possible. There's nothing saying that you can't, but just to let you know, this is the legendary helmet I got from the Akari right here. That's the only legendary piece I've got so far in the game. Um, and when it came to weapons, I only got two from the demo, and that was only because I changed over from the PS4 Pro to the PS5. In my opinion, they weren't giving any kind of love to the PS4 Pro for getting legendaries, and I played like over 300 hours damn near before I got a legendary. But bottom line is, when you're changing over your gear and you're leveling up your gear pieces, like say this is what I switched over from, and you level up, this the titanium amount's going to go up as you increase the level of your gear. It has nothing to do really with the level of your character per se. It's really the level of the gear that matters as to how much that titanium cost is going to be. So that's level 31, for example. This is a level 23 item, and so that costs 16 titanium. Like it cost 16 titanium for a while for every level until I forgot what it was, but it was a higher, you know, before the titanium went up. So, that cost can be a good amount, but again, when you're dealing with epic level equipment and what have you, it uh, it's all just titanium when it comes to leveling up. And as you can see, as far as improving the rarity of this item, um, let me see. Trying to, wait a minute, trying to see here. So, like, if you want to, like I said, in order to get into the epic level for any piece of gear, it's going to cost 50 titanium to do that initially. That's only a one-time fee. After you get it into that rarity, when it comes to leveling it up, your titanium cost drops. And I'm sure, and it does incrementally go up from time to time as you increase your level. But bottom line is, it does not cost 50 titanium every time you level up your gear. It's only from getting it from rare to epic. Outside of that, you can use this method here to farm the Akari and rinse and repeat from the end of it versus going back is the fastest way, reducing your world tier to world tier 1, and just rock out. By the time you're done, you're going to have plenty of leather. If you want to use this main character to level up gear, for example, you can use this character to level up your other gear. If you don't want to move to epic too soon on some other character, for example, or even if you want to move to epic to another character, but yet you don't have the resources yet, or you don't want to refarm each character that you have for titanium, you could use this one character here. Boost the rarity. You don't want to change the level because characters can only equip the same level of, the relative level of gear for wherever they are. But you can improve the rarity, and in that way, they have epic level gear right off the bat. So there you have it. There's my tip for, trying to gain titanium resource faster than the way you level. I apologize about the length of the video. I mean, I wanted to be a little, I tend to like to be thorough in my explanation because some of this stuff isn't straightforward, and for me, I don't know, it just took me a second to kind of figure out what was the best way to sort of get around this deficit that you're in constantly when you're leveling up. Um, and you know you're getting your ass served to you by the enemies. And but you know the thing is a whole lot more comfortable when you're at a proper level with your gear, as well as if you've got epics too. Then you know you're even more maximized for the situation. So there you go. Um, you know, keep it in your head. Uh, you know, thanks a lot for stopping through. Um, you can do it. Hope everybody stays connected. And I'll see you all next time. If there's some questions, put them in the comments. But, you know, like I said, I'm a bit of a fashionista here. And, you know, I want to run and enjoy, you know, the benefits of the game with some epic gear and having, you know, a good amount of titanium to boot to make that happen. So, you know, hopefully this has been helpful to you all. And thank you again for viewing. And definitely do enjoy. But yeah, get that titanium up. All right. Thank you again.